We want to talk about a critical aspect of the environmental and green building industry that is integral to a safe and healthy environment. The Certified Environmental Remediation Training Institute has developed a training program that helps people who are responsible for facilities learn about environmental hazards and helps environmental remediation professionals get the training necessary to address multiple environmental hazards on a site.
My name is Morris Napolitano. I'm the chairman of the Environmental Contractors Association and president of Degmore Environmental Services. The services we offer are asbestos removal, mold removal, lead removal. We do flood and fire restoration and some infectious cleaning. The CERT came about during the swine flu epidemic. We were watching TV one night and the janitors in a school were cleaning for swine flu. And they're wiping and cleaning, and they're not wearing any type of personal protection, no respirators, no Tyvek suits, no rubber gloves, no rubber boots. They're cleaning, they take their rag, they put it in their pocket, and they walk away. And this was on the evening news. If the swine flu was ever as dangerous as they thought it was going to be, those janitors would have walked onto their subway, contaminated everyone in the subway, and probably went home and contaminated their entire family. We had a meeting the next day, and with that, we were discussing it, and we saw and recognized the fact that there was definitely a void in this type of work. So we decided that training was needed.
Hello, my name is Adam Zellner, and I'm the president of Greener by Design. We're an environmental asset management firm that helps property managers across the country deal with changing regulatory and property management issues. I think all of us at some point have faced a challenge when it comes to facility or property management. In our world, it was Hurricane Sandy, and I'm sure in your worlds it was a storm, a fire, a flood, an event. And, I can talk to what happened after Hurricane Sandy, and when it comes to property management, facility management, people who were involved in public or private properties that they were managing day to day, they were confused. It was flooded. There was asbestos, there was mold, there was hazmat conditions, there was infectious disease. There were a variety of conditions that left people wondering what to do. Where do I go? What do I do first? Who do I call? It began us thinking about what to do, right? Who is us? Well, we worked with the Environmental Contractors Association, public officials, private officials, healthcare officials, others who have been in the world of infectious disease and hazmat control for many years. And what we did is we developed a class for all of us as facility managers, as property managers, as people who deal with property itself, to be able to take and get an understanding of what are the basic conditions, what are the rules, what are the regulations that govern our world, and what do we do and how do we do it to make sure that we're doing it correctly and to keep us educated as those rules and regulations change. The CERT, or the Certified Environmental Remediation Training class, allows all of us as facility managers or property managers to gain that basic understanding. Make us aware of the process that all of us should be taking to protect our properties, to protect our tenants, to protect our facilities, and to make sure that we're following through in a way that meets the letter of the law and the regulations. I would encourage all of you to take a look at the CERT class and see if this class is something that can help you in your industry and in your day-to-day management of property.
The Certified Environmental Remediation Training, or CERT, General Awareness course is designed for anyone responsible for a facility or property. Topics include Introduction to Environmental Hazards, Asbestos, Lead, Mold, Infectious Disease, Cross-contamination, environmental toxins. The course includes 24 hours of training.
General Awareness course will help you understand what to do when there are multiple hazards to contend with on a site, what you need to know to protect your staff, your building, and your site occupants, what can be handled in-house, and when you need professional contractors and who to call.
Now we will take a look at an asbestos decontamination unit at the Mason Tenders Training Center in Long Island City, New York. When asbestos professionals go through typical training, the focus is on asbestos abatement. The CERT program goes beyond individual hazards and focuses on the integration of knowledge, about multiple hazards at one site.
My name's Sean Brennan. I'm the director of the Mason Tenders Training Fund here in New York City. This is Kaz Sakura, the environmental manager of the Mason Tenders Training Fund, and we're in a mock containment area that we use for training workers in asbestos abatement. If there's not a culture of safety from the top down, well, those people at the bottom of the totem pole with any company are going to be in danger. Mm-hmm. You know, yeah, they know how to protect themselves, but if you're giving them direction that, well, they need to make money and feed their families, they're liable to do despite the fact that they know how to protect themselves. It's not helpful. It's not helpful to the worker. It's not helpful to the company. Right. So with supervision, understanding how to protect the worker and only put them in positions that are going to keep them safe, the company's going to do better, the worker's going to do better. We're all for it. But anything can happen. Mm-hmm. You know, you can't. You have to be ready for the inevitable. You have to be ready for what you can't even conceive of. Let's say there are chemicals that are in cans that aren't securely fastened. All of a sudden, those chemicals are now in the water. What about feces? You know, toilets back up in a flood. Now that's all in the water. You have a whole host of things that it creates what could be a witch's brew. Mm-hmm. You just don't know what all's in there, and you don't know how they're interacting. You know, the contraindications of one substance and another substance together, you don't know what you're getting.
On asbestos job, we have to have protection for workers working there, for building tenants, and also for area. And also we have to keep asbestos contained inside. We cannot let asbestos out, because if you have asbestos outside, you have to clean not only this, you have to clean whole building. That's why you have a protection on ventilation. That's why we have to put protection on any opening, any door, any windows.
Please understand, I've been in the field. I've been the victim of practices that were unsafe. I know what it's like, and I can tell you this. When I know that my employer cares about my safety, I'm a better worker. It's just really simple. I don't have to worry about things around me. I'm going to work better. I'm going to work safer. My company cares about me. It's a big difference.
The Certified Environmental Remediation Training, or CERT Professional Environmental Remediation course, is designed for licensed environmental remediation professionals. Topics include Introduction to Environmental Hazards, Infectious Disease Control, Standards for Safe Remediation Practices, Site Hazardous Containment, Bacterial, Biological Emergencies, Fire and Flood Remediation, Situational Awareness for simultaneously occurring multiple disasters. The course includes 24 hours of training.
The Professional Environmental Remediation course offers environmental remediation professionals advanced knowledge for handling multiple hazards that can occur simultaneously on a site.
The main goal of this training was to create a standard, was to raise the bar where every contractor would perform services in the exact same manner, be trained the exact same way. So if you hire a contractor A, B, C, D, if they have the certification, you know they're going to do the work according to a standard which is higher than anything in this industry. If I come and just say to you, yeah, I could clean it, I'm an environmental contractor. How do you know? Just because I say so? If I come with the certification, you know by the fact that I do have this certification that I have been trained to a certain standard, and we're constantly going to be checked on a yearly or bi-yearly examination that the training is still in force, that people are doing it the same way, so the standards are always kept. And by you doing that, you'll have done your due diligence.